11.2 box and whisker plots. So this is a way of representing data points. So it's going to look something like this. So we've got these boxes and these lines are the whiskers. Okay, so let's talk about what this all means. So we're going to be using the median, which we discussed in 11.1 in the last section. It's if you order the data from least to greatest, it's going to be the data point in the middle, or the two it's the average of the two nearest the middle if there's an even number of data points. Okay, and it's going to divide the data set into a lower half and an upper half. So when you do your box and whisker plot, the median is going to go in the middle of the box like this, where that bar is. Okay, so for this example, 4 would be the median of this group of data, okay? And then we've got some different quartiles, all right? So quartile 1, we'll often use Q1 for that. That's going to be the median of the lower half, okay? And then so it's going to go at the left side of the box. So Q1 goes right there, okay? And Q3 is going to go on the other side of the box, and that's going to be the median of the top half of the upper half of the data points. Okay. All right. And then this is going to be our least point, our lowest point. So that's the minimum. This is another way of expressing that. And the greatest point will go over here. And that's going to be the maximum. So it's a way of visualizing how the points are spread out. You can get a feeling for where the points are going to be bunched looking at a box and whisker plot once you've gotten used to looking at them. Okay. All right. So let's make one. All right. So we're going to plot a box and whisker plot for a data set. They're not telling us what all the data points are, but they're giving us these 5 important points. So our minimum is going to be 4. So that goes right there. Okay. And then the maximum is going to be 12. So those are going to be the ends of the whiskers. It says the median is 7, so I'll put a little dot there. Q1 is 5, and Q3 is 9. Okay, so the segments on the ends are going to be the whiskers. And then these are this is Q1 and Q3, and that's what I'm going to make my box with. So I'm going to make a box that goes like this. And then I'll make another line going through the median like that. You don't need these 3 little dots. I just put them in as placeholders so I knew where to draw the box. But, you know, a lot of times you'll see box and whisker plots look like that without the little points in those places. You can put it in or not. It doesn't matter. Okay? And that's how to make a box and whisker plot. Okay, now let's try making a box and whisker plot where we're just given a list of numbers. So we're not going to be given minimum, maximum, median, Q1, and Q3. We got to find those things for ourselves. So we have this list of numbers here. Okay. So first thing I'm going to want to do on a problem like this is order these numbers from least to greatest. So the 5 is the smallest. I'll cross them off as I go. Then I've got the 14. Then there are 2 16s. Then I've got the 20. Then the 22. Then 28. And finally 30. Okay, there's my numbers from least to greatest because I'm going to find the median of these. So I'm looking for the number that's in the middle. 20 is close to the middle, but there's 3 numbers to the right and 4 to the left, so that's not in the middle. For this 16, there's 3 to the left and 4 to the right. So neither of those is in the middle. The middle is right between the 16 and the 20, and in that case, I would average the numbers closest to the middle. So the median is going to be the average of 16 and 20. So I'll add them together, divide by 2. That's 36 over 2, which is 18. Okay, so there's the median. So on my box and whisker plot down there, I know I'm going to put a point right there, so I'll just put these in as I go. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do to find Q1, it's going to be the median of the lower half of the numbers. So this would be the lower half, right? and then the upper half would be those ones. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm taking 5, 14, 16, and 16. That's the lower half, and I'll find the median of that. Well, there's an even number of data points, so it's going to be the average of 14 and 16, which is going to come out to 15, right? So I'm going to take Q1. It's going to be the average of 14 and 16. So that's 30 over 2 and 15, right? So that's the median of the lower half, Q1. Oh, let's put in, let's put in 15. I'll put a dot there. And then Q3, I'm looking at the median of the upper half. So I'm looking at 20, 22, 28, and 30. Okay, and then since there's no number in the middle, I'm going to average the two closest to the middle. So I'm averaging 22 and 28. So that's going to give me 50 over 2, which comes out to 25. Okay, 25. Okay, and that's going to be the box part of my box and whisker plot, because it's going from Q1 to Q3, and then I've got a little bar in there where the median of the whole group is. Okay, now I just got to figure out where the ends of the whiskers are. Well, I take the least number. This is my minimum, and then this will be my maximum. Okay, so 5 is the minimum. It's all the way down there at the end. 30 is the maximum. And then draw in our whiskers, and then we're done. Okay. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what you can learn from these. I can see needs some new ink in my printer. Okay, so this one's called skewed left. The left whisker is longer than the right one, clearly, right? And what that means is most of the data points are going to be on the right side. So if it's skewed to the left, maybe if this were a bunch of people taking a test, there's a bunch of good grades and then one person got a really low grade, something like that. Okay, symmetric is where it's pretty much balanced, and that means the data points are going to be pretty evenly spread. And then skewed right, that right whisker is longer, which means most of the data points are in here. So maybe this is a really difficult test where most people didn't do well, and then one person aced it or something like that. Okay? All right, that is the end of the section, and I'll see you next time.